What's up, developers? This is chapter 3 of my Cloudflare and Hono course. In this chapter, we will set up Tailwind CSS and set up DaisyUI. So here I am in the Astro documentation looking at Tailwind. So it says here Astro comes with support for Tailwind, and it gives us some instructions on how to install it. So let's take a look at what we have here. So it says npx astro add tailwind. And so I'm going to copy this and jump over to VS Code. Now the thing is, I'm using bun, so we can still paste this and change this from npx to bunx and click enter. And Astro will run the following commands. So bun add tailwind CSS and tailwind for Vite and regular. Okay, cool. So let's say yes, I want to continue. Astro will scaffold the global CSS. Yep, go ahead and continue. And Astro make the following changes to your config file. Okay, yes. Okay, so import the just like this. So layout.astro. So let's grab this code here, or just this line would be good enough, and take a look at our layout.astro. So layout, and then at the top of this, we want to do dash dash dash, just like that, and import styles global CSS. And we can see the styles did not get added into my client folder. It's in the same level there, so I'm going to move that and make sure that is all good. So from layout.astro, it would go up one folder and then to styles global. So that should work for us. And then here in the global CSS, we can see the import of Tailwind. Okay, so this is looking good. What I want to do, of course, is test out that this is actually working as expected. So the thing is, with all this boilerplate, it's a little bit hard to tell. So let's say if I go bun run dev and I go over to my browser, this is all the boilerplate they gave us. I'm going to go ahead and delete all of this so it doesn't get in our way. So looking at the assets, I don't need either of these pictures. This is not going to stay in our production code. Looking at the components, okay, so we have this welcome.astro component that has all sorts of stuff inside of it. Let's go ahead and delete this and just make a hello world component instead. So create a new, just call it hello Astro, delete welcome, and it's going to throw some errors because it is importing that file elsewhere. So let's go ahead and stop the server until I'm actually ready to work with that. So let's add a basic div and just say hello world, classic, right? And then let's add our class equals, and then let's do some Tailwind classes in here. So flex, justify, center, and let's say text red 400. Okay, so that way, the reason why I put the text red 400 is if we see that, that's a good sign that Tailwind is working as expected. But also, if we see the text is justified center, then we know it's working. So jumping back down through all of this boilerplate that I'm cleaning up, so we have our layout, which this is basic HTML, so we can leave that. And I'm going to go ahead and clean up this style as well. We're going to be managing our styles with Tailwind and DaisyUI. So everything else looks good. Then go to our page. So we have layout and welcome. And I just deleted the welcome component, so that doesn't exist anymore. So let's go ahead and import hello. There we go, and put hello here instead. And then that is all good. Okay, so that should do it for us. Let's go ahead and fire up our dev server again and make sure Tailwind is working. And there we go. It's a little small. I could zoom in 250%, but there we can see hello world in red. So our Tailwind setup is working as expected. All right, so now we're going to set up DaisyUI. So here I am at DaisyUI.com, and if you're not familiar with DaisyUI, it is a component library built on top of Tailwind CSS. So basically, just to kind of show you here on their website, like they have all of these different components. So the accordion, for example, we can see here that they have this component that can expand and collapse just like this, the accordion. They have a status component. So it's this little icon. Let's show you something a little bit more visual. Here's a table component. So yeah, hopefully that gets the idea across. It's a component library that is going to make our life easier because a lot of these components are built with mobile and desktop in mind. So whether our users visit on a phone or desktop, they're going to have a good experience. The components will adjust to the size of the screen. So if we go to the installation instructions here, we can use bun add -d daisy UI latest. So let's grab that and jump back over to VS Code. And then I will kill my server, clear that out, and bun add -d. -d is for development dependency because once it's bundled in for production, then it's not needed anymore. It'll be compiled to just regular CSS. Okay, so we're now installed, and then we need to add, gotta go over to Chrome. We need to add this plugin here to our global CSS file. And so let's jump back over to VS Code, global CSS, add import DaisyUI, and then let's see what happens if I run the dev server. Okay, didn't crash or anything, so that's good. And you can see now we have a dark background. So Daisy changed something there. And what we can do too is we can pick from a bunch of different default themes that they have. So to set a default theme, for example, what am I on here? There's Dracula. So if I want to use Dracula, the way to do that, jump back over, and we can remove that semicolon, add a curly brace, and say themes. And then I can say Dracula -- default. So now, see if it picked up those changes. There, it looks like it did. Let's go ahead and jump back over and see if our theme changed. Well, it's kind of hard to tell because the background just went from dark to dark. So let's go ahead and add a component here that we can confirm DaisyUI is working as expected. So something basic like a card component. Okay, so some of these have an image on there. We're going to ignore the image and say HTML. Okay, let's just copy this chunk of code. And actually, I think we can copy this. This image references out to the internet. So jump back over to VS Code. Let's go to our hello.astro and let's paste what we have. Card. Okay. And see if it picked up the changes. Picked up some changes and jump over to Google again. And hey, there we have it, our card component. So that tells me that DaisyUI is working as expected and set up correctly. Cool. So that's all for this chapter. Now in the next chapter, we're going to set up prettier.